My name is Jay Rothman, and I am coming live to you from the trailhead of North Scottsdale, Arizona. I thought I was going to come in from the peak, from the high point of the mountain range, but it was just too hot. It's hovering around 97, 98 degrees here right now. That's Fahrenheit. And I'm going to put my backpack on. Good morning. Coming in from Boynton Beach. My mom, thank you for supporting me this morning and coming in live. As I wait for more people to join me, I wanted to put my backpack on so I could take some water at times from this nice little water bladder. Elizabeth Richter coming in from the Netherlands. Thank you for joining me this morning. And it's probably evening where you are. Adele Jacobs coming in from South Africa. I'm going to take a sip of this alkaline, reverse osmosis, clean water that I get right from my faucet. Elizabeth, how are you doing tonight? It's Sunday. I don't know if it's Sunday in the Netherlands or Saturday night, but thank you for joining me. I'm going to invite all of you to, at any point, if you hear something that you like or love, with love, gently touch. You like or love button. There you go. Thank you so much. And if you hear something that resonates with you, feel free to comment away. And if you have any questions for me as well, please post them in the comment section. I want to thank you for joining me this morning. I'm on fire this morning, not only because it's 98 degrees Fahrenheit. I got a little bit of a late start. For some reason, my phone was not plugged in properly to my jack overnight, and by the time I got up, my phone was off, and so I started my hike at 34%. What does that mean for me? It means that if, in fact, right now I'm down at 23%, if I see it going much lower, I will, in fact, jump into my car and finish this spontaneous hike to heal live from my car. Kim, good morning, good afternoon. Osavio, thank you for joining me. Deborah Mitchell, thanks for coming in as well. Tammy Dublin, good to see you this morning. So how has your weekend been if you are, in fact, coming in from overseas? I want to share with you that it is just the beginning of my weekend. But this morning was just an incredible way to wake up. Once I got my phone open and charged, I was blessed with a message. A personal message from a woman that was coming in from none other than Abu Dhabi. It's about an hour, I want to say, east of Dubai, in the Middle East, part of the Emirates. And I've been to Abu Dhabi. I was there in 2008 when I was doing business with a Hardee's chain. A company called Kuwaiti Food Service was probably, I think, still maybe the largest food service franchise in the Middle East. They own many, many chains. And I was there to service that account. And boy, did I love eating Hardee's. Hardee's is a U.S.-based brand, sister brand of Carl's Jr. You know that brand where you get them charbroiled burgers and French fries and all that food that actually causes gut rot? Yeah, that's the chain I'm talking about. How do I know that? Because I caused gut rot. I had no idea the damage I was causing in my body, and it wasn't just my gut that got damaged, but it was my immune system. But I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm going to flip and talk about something that just hit me so incredibly at the soul level this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining me. So what ended up happening was I get this message from this woman who basically she shared some links with me of this Dr. Tom O'Brien, who is an expert in how to heal a gut. And she went on to share with me, I'd never seen her name before, and I noticed she was not a friend of mine, and I asked her how she knew me, and she said, well, I started following you about 3 or 4 months ago, and I catch most of your lives, if not live or on replay, and I've caught many of your shows, and I just want to thank you how much you've touched my life. And, you know, what hit me was that we don't know who we're touching. We don't know how we're touching people when we are connecting with them, whether we are connecting with them coming from the love space, or we're connecting with them because we're actually being mean-spirited and we're in a bad space and we're not being nice to someone. It could be a stranger or someone we even know. I had no idea. One more time, I got reminded that the work that I do today is touching other people across the globe. I did a watch party yesterday in one of my Facebook communities. It's called Hay House Summit Global Community. I believe there's over 120,000 members of that community. And I had about 20 people on a watch party with me at any given moment. I had people coming in from the UK, the Netherlands, Australia, the US, all over the world. And we had just a beautiful conversation going on as they were watching my live replay from yesterday morning. And one of the people that were participating in the audience with me, she asked where she could follow me, where she could find me. And I gave her the link, told her where she could find me on Facebook. And she sent me a note after and said, I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful that I got to hear what you said today, because it's just what I needed to hear. And so just a reminder that when I have those moments where I'm feeling tired, I feel like, I just want to go more private and just kind of settle down a little bit, I get reminded that the work that I do touches other people's life. And so the title of this live was Touched by an Angel. And this morning I was touched by an angel from Abu Dhabi. And we had a conversation through text messaging, through Messenger, I should say, for, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so. And I asked her, could I video chat with her? And she said, unfortunately, we're restricted in Abu Dhabi. We're locked down. We cannot do any video. We can't even participate in Zoom. And so, what I understood in that moment is that no matter what our restrictions are, no matter what we think are our barriers in life, we can still connect. We can still touch one another's life. We can still impact someone else's life. Because even though she is restricted and she can't use any of the apps like WhatsApp or Skype or Zoom or Messenger to connect with me, eye to eye, soul to soul, heart to heart, she was able to connect with me just through words, through typing. And she said, thankfully, she's able to access Facebook, and she's able to watch me do my work. And so, in the last 4 months, I wasn't aware that I was touching her life. But she touched my life this morning because she gave me the fuel, she gave me the inspiration to get out here and power through significant pain in my right leg this morning. Now, I hiked today, and I hiked all the way down to the strenuous point of the trail. Now, when I say it wasn't strenuous up until that point, it's not an easy trail, but I made it to that point, almost to the end, 3/4 of the way, and I turned around. I'm rebuilding my muscle strength. I was in a water-day fast, a 5-day fast. And right now my pain level is about a 9 when I hike. But, here's my truth. Whether I am walking, hiking, climbing through physical pain, I also know that many of us are challenged with emotional pain, mental pain, and, of course, physical pain. And I know that it's a choice to stay in it or step through it. It's a choice to live in it or push through it. It's a choice to have the mindset that my life sucks, I'm in pain, and just give me some pharmaceuticals so I feel better. But it's also another choice to say, no, I am not interested to fuel my body with poison. When I say poison, I call it poison because it may help you with one part of your mind or body that's in pain or suffering. But it's causing all kinds of havoc within your body, and you end up with more diseases than what you started with. And so, is it good for you? I think maybe it works as a temporary bridge until you get to the root cause of whatever is causing you your pain. But long term, it is poison because it's going to cause you more damage than good. It becomes from a blessing to a burden before you know it. How do I know it? Because that was me. That's what I did for 54 years of my life. And today I say, no. I say, yes. That's what I say today. So in any event, I'm going off a little bit sideways here, but coming back to why I wanted to come live is I wanted to talk about how this incredible, beautiful soul, this beautiful woman from Abu Dhabi touched my life today. She touched my heart. And it was such an incredible, beautiful moment for both of us, I believe. She shared a couple of videos from Dr. Tom O'Brien. If you're interested to get the link she sent, send me a PM, and I'll forward it to you. I also wanted to touch, as I was hiking this morning, keep in mind my face was dripping wet. My shirt is 100% wet. There's not a dry spot on it. But Rocketman came on, one of my songs on Pandora. Not the original version, but the version from the movie Rocketman, which Elton John actually endorsed. He was the executive producer, so we know it was a very accurate portrayal of his life. And what struck me is we talk about connections and connecting with people. This morning I connected with this incredible, beautiful woman who felt inspired to share some information that's actually helped her in her own healing journey. And so we were able to connect. But what I've also learned is that for us to truly connect, between people in a healthy way, we have to first figure out who we are at our heart level, at our soul level, so that if we want to connect and be in healthy relationships, we got to first connect. The most important person to connect with is ourself, not somebody else. And so what struck me is I saw the movie Rocketman, and I tell you what, my tears were just flowing down my face. Almost every scene, and at one point, my head was in my lap, and my hands were hovering over my head, and I was just uncontrollably crying. Because what I got out of that movie, there's so many messages, but ultimately what I got was Elton John has spent his lifetime seeking love, like we all do. We all want love. We want to be loved, and we want to experience love, right? But here's the challenge that Elton John had, is that he was seeking it outside of himself his entire life. It didn't matter how many mansions he had, how big they were, the cars he drove. It didn't matter how much wealth and fame he had. It didn't matter how many number one hits he had on the radio. He was a very, 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 very sad man. He was a man who was continuously living in inner bondage, and eventually he was addicted to alcohol and drugs, and he tried to commit suicide a number of times. And here's the part that I don't know the answer to. But I question this, and it's just lingering within my soul, my intuition, is that at the end of the movie, the way the movie ends is Elton John basically found his soulmate, the man who he said is loves him. He said he finally found someone to love him. And where I go with this is that I don't want to say my concern, but my awareness is that ultimately we shouldn't be seeking love outside of ourselves to be okay with who we are. We've got to seek love within ourselves. That's called self-love. And if Elton John, for example, is okay today because he's married, I believe his name is David, and David finally gave him the kind of love that he was seeking his entire life and was willing to die for, and nearly died a couple of times. What happens if David decides he wants out of the marriage? What happens if, God forbid, David dies before Elton John does? Where does that leave Elton John? Because if he's put all of his investment to be loved and to experience love outside of himself, he's going to be right back where he was before he met David. Drinking, boozing, doing drugs, heavy-duty drugs that nearly took him out a number of times. And so therein lies, for me, the moral of this story, this moment, is that let's stop seeking love outside of ourselves to be whole. Let's stop seeking to feel better by buying bigger cars, bigger homes, more expensive vacations, high-end dinners out, clothing, you name it. None of that stuff is going to fill you up, and none of that stuff is going to make you whole. None of that stuff is going to bring you to inner peace, contentment, joy, self-love, self-compassion, and self-love. What's going to bring you there is learning how to walk through the process of facing your old wounds and shadows, as well as those pivotal moments that impacted your life, that impacted you and affected you in such a way where you no longer loved yourself. And for many of us, including myself, that happened very early on in our life. And so that's what I wanted to share. I was touched by an angel this morning. She touched my life. She gave me the inspiration to go out today and power through, hike through 95, 98 degree temperatures Fahrenheit, push through pain levels of 9, make it to the almost bottom of the second mountain, the double dip mountain, and come back and have the energy to do this live. Yes, yes, yes. I'll tell you what I did this morning. I'm probably the only 58-year-old man that skipped. You remember skipping? When was the last time you skipped? When was the last time you invited your inner child to come out and have a play date with you? When was the last time you said, you know what? You want to skip? All right, let's skip. So, no, I didn't run down a mountain, but I skipped down a mountain. I had my hands up in the air. I was singing. I was skipping. And so sometimes I turned around. I was doing these. I was skipping. I was skipping right now. I'm skipping backwards. You see how this works? That's how it works. This is how it works. Having a play date right now. Right now, I am having a play date with you. And it feels awesome. It feels incredible. How come this feels the way it feels is because I learned how to connect. I learned how to connect with myself for the first time in my life. And it wasn't that long ago. It was just a couple of 24 hours ago, as they say. It was just in the last 3.5 years that I had the courage to change. I had the courage to let go of things that no longer served me. Toxic people, places, and things. And I allowed myself to face my shadows, to do my inner child work, and come home. That's what I call coming home. And that's the work I do with my clients. Right now, I'm in the middle of rebranding who I am, my brand identity. And I think I've landed on it. I'm really excited about it, and I'll be announcing it pretty shortly. But it feels right, and I'm excited to launch my new brand under my name, Jay Rothman. But in any event, have an incredible day. If it's your Saturday in the United States, take time today. Put down that to-do list. It's not that important. Don't go to the dry cleaners. Don't go get your nails done. Don't go get your pedicure today. Put it on hold. Instead, go out in nature. Take a walk. Take a bike ride. Take a hike. Climb. Go to a park. Take off your shoes and do what I'm doing right now. I'm going to flip this on you so you can see right now what my feet are doing. Here we go. That's called grounding. That's called grounding. I do that every day after I come off the trail. I do about a 2.5, 3-hour hike. And then when I get to the bottom, I strip. Now, I don't strip all my clothes off. I strip off my socks and my shoes. And I sit and I ground and I listen to music. Sometimes many days I coach right from this spot now. I coach my clients. I'm going to do one last check-in before I run out of battery time. Gabrielle Schneider is coming in from Berlin, Germany. Thank you so much. Karina Oxley coming in from Abu Dhabi. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. Touched by an angel right there. Elizabeth Richter, she says, you go, Jay. You are amazing, love, and light. Jane Walter, thank you for joining me. Deborah Mitchell says, Michelle, says, thank you for this message. You are an earth angel that just touched my soul. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, that's how we do it. We touch each other. Coming from love and kindness. We've had enough pain in our life. We've had enough suffering. It's time to thrive. It's time to show up for ourselves first. Then we have more to give to others. Christine O'Connell coming in from Long Beach, California. Gabrielle says, super. I do the same here at the lake. I know you do. Elizabeth says, yes, grounding, Jay, so important. Yes, yes, yes. I am in nature and so happy. Gabrielle, when was the last time you skipped? I bet it's been, a couple of decades or so. Well, I'm going to invite you to do something today, maybe that you haven't done in some time, and I'm going to touch your life. Go ahead and skip today. You know how many men I walked by as I was coming down this trail skipping? And, I always think to myself, they must think I am a whack job. And I don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't care what people think anymore. Why? Because I'm not showing up for them. I'm showing up for me. When I'm out here and I'm doing my spiritual practice, I'm showing up for me. And so if I want to skip, I skip. If I want to cry, I cry. If I want to sing out loud, I sing out loud. If I want to meditate and nature bathe, I do that too. I do all those things. And in between, I'm greeting people. I'm saying, good morning, have an incredible day, have an awesome day, have an amazing day. And I just touch as many people as I can touch that are ready to be touched. Touched by, some may call an angel. Ingrid says, is watching. Good morning. Deborah, Michelle, yes, yes, yes. It is time for all of us to thrive. So I'm going to, Karina says, yay, Jay, we are all connected to Source and to teach each other when a moment and opportunity arises. Yes, Karina. Thank you so much for this comment. Have a beautiful, restful evening. The rest of you in the United States, take a skip today. Take a jumping jack, turn around, sing, dance. By yourself, with yourself, or with somebody else, it doesn't matter. But just do it. Have the courage. Just take that one simple step today and skip. Skip for about 5 minutes. Whether you're hiking down a mountain or you're walking in a park, take a skip. Or just roll down some grass. Or just take just do whatever makes you feel good. Let the inner child come out and play a little bit today. In any event, have an awesome day. Thank you so much for joining me live on this hike to heal. If, just so you understand, the GoFundMe is still open. If you are so desired, if you've been touched with what I said today and you would like to donate to assist me in financial support for the medical treatment that I'm about to I'm in it, but to deep dive way further into it, feel free. You can find it on my GoFundMe on on my personal page and on Spirituality Gone Wild. Thank you so much. So glad you joined me. Have an incredible day, and skip, skip, skip.